What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So this is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of New York, season 14, episode 5. I think we're on. We are still at Friendsgiving, and uh, um, Brynn is still sharing her story with us. Um, she shared that she did, that her father actually gave up his parental rights, and that's why she was able to be legally adopted by her grandmother. She talked about that she was in foster care until her grandmother came, was able to get her. And she talked about the fact that later on in life, she did reconnect with her father. He reached out to her, but at that point, by then he was dying. He had been in jail. He had been through, all the things that people go through. He was an addict and things like that. And she said, at that point, what was I supposed to do? She said, I forgave him, and I spent basically the rest of his life, I would go visit him. We talked regularly, and listen, I get it. When somebody comes to you and they've done you dirty, but they say, look, I'm dying, like this is the end of my life, you have some decisions to make, and I can't say what I would or wouldn't do. I mean, I can say from where I sit right now that my attitude would probably be like, F you. But in that situation, I honestly cannot say. So, again, my heart goes out to Brynn. I definitely understand a lot more. She said that's why she just chooses to be happy. She said, I choose to be happy. I choose to be silly. I just choose to be light because my life had been so heavy. So I choose that. And I can respect that. When people make a choice, it is a choice. It is a choice. And so respect. So then we found out Jessel is having a fundraiser at her home for a group in India to help, I think, kids in India. So Jenna says, I have an event that night, right? Jenna says, I have an event that night. Now, we're going to get to that at the end of this episode. But everybody else says that they're going to come, and all that good stuff. So, yay, we're all coming. We're all coming. So then we had to have this whole conversation about cackling hens. Now, let me say this, or cackling women, whatever she called them women. Cackling, whatever. Honestly, at the end of the day, child, I just don't care. It wasn't that serious. Now, Aaron, I like you, girl, but you really took it, and you get offended very easily. I see that things really offend you. I go back to that charcuterie board down at the first episode about the cheese. Like, you get offended very easily. Now, them blowing you off to go to a different restaurant, I'm still with you on that one. But at the end of the day, Aaron, I'm gonna need you're gonna have to grow some thicker skin if you're gonna be in this Housewives game. Now, for right now, we letting y'all get away with this. And when I say we, I mean the fan base is letting the ladies in New York get away with cheese and caviar and, cackling hens. We letting y'all, in this argument that we're gonna have at the end of this episode, we are letting y'all get away with these lights. But y'all gonna have to dig a little deeper. For next season. First of all, I think y'all gonna lose Jenna next season. So Andy, go on and start figuring out who you gonna bring in, because I just feel like this ain't for Jenna. I just feel like I love her and she's quirky and I want to see her stay. I just don't think she is. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So then they were talking about how, again, overall, just how Jessel acted down to the Hamptons up to the Hamptons. And then she made a comment about having to go out for a work job. And she was like, Aaron was like, oh, you work now? And Jessel got offended. Okay, she was like, what do you mean, do I work now? Of course I work. What do you mean? And Jessel was like, I've been working for 20 years. I'm so offended that she would ask me that. Aaron was like, she told me she was taking off after, taking some time off work after the twins were born. I didn't know she had gone back to work. Like, I wasn't attacking her. It was I honestly did not know. And again, y'all, I just feel like Jessel is so quick to get offended because I didn't feel like Aaron said it in a, oh, so you have a job now. I honestly didn't feel like she said it in that way, but the flip side is, if you did go back to work, if you know you took time off, even if you don't remember having a conversation with Aaron about that, she was like, I've been working for 20 years. My company, you make it seem like you've worked uninterrupted. So either Aaron misunderstood something you said, or you had stopped working and went back to work, and Aaron doesn't, like, I don't feel like Aaron was being malicious, but she took it totally offensive, and she was upset, and she was like, I mean, how dare she say that? She tries to make it seem like I don't do anything. And I honestly don't think that's where Aaron was coming from. So Jessel decides that she needs to have a sit down with Aaron, because she needs to clear the air, and she needs to talk to Aaron about the things. So they meet up at a coffee shop in Aaron's neighborhood, which is Tribeca. Now listen, I don't know nothing about New York. And when I say I don't know nothing about New York, I mean I don't know anything outside of what y'all know about New York. You know what I'm saying? I know the boroughs, but there are certain things I do know about New York. I know that Tribeca is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in New York, if not the most expensive neighborhood in New York. That I know. And I don't know nothing about New York. Okay? I know the names of places. I know Manhattan. I know Harlem. I know how to get to Times Square, because lately that's where I've been hanging out, is in Times Square. The last 3 times I done went to New York, I went to Times Square. I didn't go nowhere else. No, we went to Harlem. But neither here nor there. With that being said, she says, Jessel shows up and says, oh, this is a nice up and coming neighborhood. Aaron was like, up and come? Baby, it's here. Well, she said, it's here. I fell out. She said, it's here. It's not up in anything. So Jessel was like, oh, okay, well, okay. She said, so I wanted to talk to you because I was really upset. I was really offended when, I felt like you were, basically insinuating that I don't work. And Aaron was like, girl, you told me you took time off. I didn't know you went back to work. If it offended you, my bad. Wasn't my intention. Didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. So then she was just like, well, I just, so then Aaron was like, you really have been, like, I don't think you realize that what you say and how you say things, how they come off to people. And so once again, they brought up the Hamptons. Now listen, I'm with Jessel. She don't want to talk about the Hamptons no more. She don't want to think about the Hamptons no more. She don't want it to be a thing. I am with her. I don't want no parts of the Hamptons at this point. I'm over it. I mean, as far as going, if you have a place at the Hamptons, call me. I'm coming. But as far as this trip to the Hamptons, now Aaron, if you want me to come to the Hamptons with you, I promise you, I will use whatever toilet paper you have. I don't care what room you put me in. And you can greet me with caviar on Pringles chips. I won't complain, okay? I promise. But as far as this is concerned, I'm over it. But she made the comment, Jessel, you act like you're pampered, or that people have to cater to you. And once again, Jessel, you take one thing somebody says and you jump all the way here, just like when your husband told you that your tone of voice can be harsh, and you were like, so you're calling me a bitch. That ain't what he said. So when Aaron said, well, you act like people need to cater to you, then here you go. Oh, so you're calling me a princess. You're saying I'm a pampered princess. That ain't what Aaron said. But then you're offended by something that Aaron didn't even say. Now, she starts talking about how she's an immigrant and how she, she came from nothing in this country and she worked her way up, and how she's offended that Aaron would make it seem like she's just this pampered princess when she worked hard for everything she has, and she is the American dream, child. Girl, that ain't what Aaron said. So you offended about something that didn't happen. Now, the flip side is, girl, you were showing your ass in the Hamptons. Like, I get it. You worked your way up. You were an immigrant. You came into this country. Like, I'm going to give you all of that. I'm not going to judge you for it, and I'm going to give you all of that. But at the end of the day, that is exactly how you acted at the damn Hamptons. So then they just sat there, child, and they didn't have nothing else to say, child. They was just sitting there looking at each other like, so then before that, so then she tried to attack Aaron like, I feel like you don't support women and you're not there for women. So now Aaron was like, oh, hell no. Now I'm offended because I'm very pro-woman and I support women, and that is what I do. Like, don't come for me and make it seem like I don't support women and I don't do this, right? Child. So Then Aaron was like, now I'm offended. So then they would just sit. So that's when they kind of just had the little stare off situation, right? Like, mm. Aaron was like, well, girl, I gotta get back to work. So basically, nothing was resolved in that situation. In that conversation, child, nothing was resolved. Okay. Now we got a chance to see a little bit more about Sai's life. Now she works out of her brownstone. I ain't mad at you, girl. Work from home, baby. Work from home. And she has two assistants, and we see her going through her gifts. But like she said, nothing is a gift. She is an influencer. So when people send her things, it is not a gift. It is absolutely for the purposes of working for it, right? She had stuff from Fendi and Versace and all these other high-end designers. And she said, when she had to drop out of college, her job, she was working as an intern at, not, it wasn't LLB, and that's Jenna who was at LLB. It was an intern at somewhere. And she said when she got to the end of that internship, she realized, I just want to work for myself. Like, I don't really want to do this. So she actually started a blog with her daughter, because at that point she had a child. And she started a blog with her daughter, sort of a mommy and me kind of thing. And from there, it evolved. She said it got picked up by Reddit, I think, and it went viral. And then from there, it just kind of took off. Child, Reddit, pick me up. Make me viral. Okay? Side, make me viral. Okay? But anyway. So, but I was here for it. I like Sai's personality. I definitely feel like she's a firecracker. And there are going to definitely be things that she probably does and says that I'm going to be a little offended by. But ultimately, well, not offended by, but I may not be cool with. But I like her. And I do think that she will stay with the franchise. And I think that she will eventually, I think she'll probably become like the star. Because... See, I feel like I'm going left, but this episode ain't really a whole lot more to it. I say that because I feel like she's got a lot going on. She's genuine. She knows how to bring it for the camera and not overdo it. I feel like the model overdoes it. Just like her cousin over on Real Housewives of Dubai, she overdoes it. So she gets to be annoying at times. Jessel. I hope she watches this season and see how she came off, and maybe she can adjust. Aaron is good. Aaron is a staple. And then I told you, I think we're just going to lose Jenna, child. I think Jenna is just going to be over these ladies. And Bren will hang around, but I don't know. I mean, Bren has given us her life, so I'm not saying she hasn't given us her life. I don't know. I just feel like Sai's the breakout star. That's me. Okay, moving on. So then we see Jenna going through her storage closet to clean it out, to figure out what she's going to sell on Amazon, what she's going to, give away. Listen, and because of the life that Jenna leads, a lot of her stuff, it is couture, it is designer, it is well taken care of. So, of course, she can resell it and get some great, money for it. And I ain't mad at you, Jenna. I'm not mad at you at all. She had a dress that she wore to the White House to make the Obamas. She had a dress where she met Meghan Markle. She had, different outfits that she was photographed in at the Met Gala and things like that. So ultimately, first of all, I can't wear nothing Jenna got. Nothing. I don't even know if I could fit a hat. Okay? Nothing Jenna has I could fit. But I would love to, see what the prices go for and all that good stuff. Because I'm here for that. Okay? So then we see Bren meeting up with Sai, and they eventually call Jessel to come through. Hold on. I'm sorry, I just saw something. I'm not gonna. Okay. So Bren has entered a chess tournament, and Bren said, "Listen, all the things that I couldn't do when I was a kid, that I couldn't, either my family couldn't afford to do, or I just couldn't get it done when I was a kid, I do now." She was like, "I take violin lessons, I've learned how to play chess, I've learned all the things that, that just as a kid you wanted to do, and your mom was like, oh, we don't have the money, or I was in foster care and there was no money, or whatever." I'm here for that. I'm definitely here for Bren saying, "Listen, I have the money now, I have the time, and I'm going to indulge." She's not a great chess player, but she was like, "I learned how to play it. I want to play in this tournament, and so what? I got my butt kicked in the first round. It was fun. It was something to do. I don't take it that seriously." So Sai and Bren are talking about the conversation that Aaron had with Jessel, right? that it didn't go so well. So that's when they called Aaron to come through so they could sort of get Aaron's take on it. And I mean, they just sort of regurgitating the conversation. And Aaron was just like, "Girl, I don't know what the issue is. Like, I don't know why she's mad at me. I don't get it. Like, what is it that she's so upset about? I just don't know." So Aaron says, "Look, I wasn't gonna go to her little charity event, but now I feel like I have to go because she done already put through the 'you don't support women' card." She was like, "And I'm not gonna give her that card to be able to throw at me. So, I'm coming to her event." That's the remote. "I'm coming to her event because basically she sort of just punked me into doing it." But I understand, Aaron. I definitely understand why you made that decision, girl. And at this point, basically, Sai is like, "Listen, I like Jessel, but I've just come to the conclusion that Jessel is one of those people that's never really going to take accountability for anything that she does. So I don't get mad anymore because I just already know that's who she is." And I have people in my life like that. Like, I honestly believe that when you meet people, you get to know who they are and you just love them or you don't. Like, don't keep getting mad at me for something that you know is a character flaw. And I say flaw because I have them. I'm not perfect. My best friend, she gets me. Sometimes she overgets me, and she's going to see this video in a minute. Well, in about 2 years, because she watches all of my videos, but she's a little behind, right? But there are things, like a year behind. There are things about my personality that she just gets. They probably annoy the hell out of her, but she just gets it, right? There are some people that those things about my character, they just can't deal with. And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Now, maybe when I was younger, it would bother me. Well, why don't they like me? I don't understand. I don't get it. But as an adult, I'm like, okay, cool. Me and you don't mesh, and that's okay. And so I can appreciate that. Sai is like, "Listen, this is who she is. She's not going to change. I get it. I just accept her as is," right? So that's kind of what the conversation they had. So we get to Jessel's event. Now, Jessel absolutely has the who's who of fashion in her home, okay? She even ends up with the editor of Vogue, which, of course, Bryn was impressed with. Well, I'm impressed, too. But it looked like it was a really nice fundraiser. They were selling some cute bags in there that, y'all know, that's my kryptonite. A nice bag is my kryptonite. Y'all know I love me a good bag. But now, while this is going on, Jenna is at her home with her son and her 2 goddaughters, and they're decorating for the holidays, right? Her chef is there / friend. He's there cooking, and they're just having a good old, great Saturday evening at the house, or whatever day of the week it was. She says, "Listen, I feel like she doesn't have custody of her son, because she said, I don't get to spend a lot of time with him. He's only here for 2 weeks. So I feel like he doesn't live with her full time. Or maybe he goes to boarding school or something. I don't know. Because this is around the holidays, so maybe he was home for Christmas. I'm not sure." So the ladies are like, "Oh, Jenna said she had an event. She had an event. She had an event." So they called her and they FaceTimed her, and they saw that she was at home decorating, and she didn't hide it. She's, showing them, panning over to the tree and panning over to the chef, and they're saying hi to the chef and everything. And then they proceed to have this whole conversation about, well, she didn't have to lie. I mean, she didn't have an event. She's just at home. That's all she had to say. Listen, she said she couldn't come because she had something else to do. Now, an event, just because y'all assume that when she said event, she meant the Met Gala or she had to go to the White House. No, she said she had an event and she couldn't make it. An event to her is spending the evening with my child and my godchildren and having a good old tree trimming party in our overalls, because they were all wearing overalls. I don't understand what the issue is, but once again, we are fighting, or we are complaining over things that the average person just ain't that serious about. If I call a friend and they say I got something else to do, or I have an event, it doesn't even. Do you think I'm gonna get mad if they tell me I have an event and then I found out that they spent the evening at home with their family decorating a Christmas tree? Like, you're mad about that? I could see if Jenna said I have an event, and when you called her, she was like, "Girl, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just laying across the TV, binging something on Netflix." Then I could see you saying, "Oh my gosh, all she had to say was she didn't want to come." Girl, she said she had an event and she was literally doing something with her family. That is an event. See, y'all ain't got it in y'all head that an event has to be dress up, throw on my Louboutins, get in, a Uber Black downtown Manhattan, going to a gala. Like, that is what you guys have made up in your mind. But it doesn't have to always be that. It was an event. It was an event for Jenna and her family. I was upset by that. But anyway, that was just the rest of the daggone conversation. Then they told Jessel to go on and get her some after everybody left. They were trying to get her drunk so she would get frisky. Listen, this is how I feel about the situation. I mean, granted, I'm definitely of the mindset of, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, it's been 2 years and you ain't gave your husband none. And I already told y'all, if he ain't getting it from you when he happy about it, then I just feel like you need to be looking to the left and looking to the right, because I feel like he getting it from somewhere else. But that ain't my business. If they okay with it, I certainly don't have an issue. Okay, that ain't my business. That's between Frick and Frack. Okay. But with that being said, with all of that being said, if her husband ain't complaining and she okay with it, child, I'm done. I'm not gonna keep having a conversation about another woman's sex life. I'm just not. Okay? Anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.